There's so much new crap on this now. God, I gotta click all this junk. Yeah, okay, new timeout lengths. You can now put people in timeout for different lengths range. Okay, I don't care. Go. Oh, I love it when online services change the way they do things. In like to do something that used to be super simple, like do a live, click a button, type a title, go. Now it's like I gotta click 8 different things, go to advanced settings. What the? Anyway, okay. What was I gonna talk about today? I don't remember anymore. Oh wait, no, I totally do. Maybe. Oh yeah. So the other day, I was talking with this guy, and he was like, Jaimie, I live kind of off grid like you and stuff, and whenever I talk to people, apparently he was kind of a surfer dude. I didn't hear him speak, actually. This was all in text. But anyway, he's like, yeah, but like whenever I talk to people about, problems with society and why I'm doing things this different way and stuff, people always say this thing that I see people say in comments to you all the time, which is like, yo, if you have all these problems with society and you still use things from society, then you're a hypocrite. So Jaimie, how do you handle that kind of criticism? Like, how do I justify using things from society that I think is kind of messed up, dude? Okay. First, anytime you do anything unusual, I mean, really, anytime you do anything now, you're going to get a lot of stupid people saying stupid stuff to you. Oh my God, so many stupid things. And some things you'll hear a lot, like that particular criticism. Oh, if you're criticizing civilization and you still use things from civilization, that makes you a hypocrite, Jaimie. Oh my God, I could probably go back to my last video and it'll be in there like 6 times. Like it's just all the time. For decades, I've heard this crap. So when you hear this kind of stupid nonsense, particularly if you hear it a lot, you can feel like you need to justify yourself to these stupid questions. Like maybe this question is not stupid. No. If it's a stupid question, it's a stupid question. It doesn't matter how many people have asked it. Like really think to yourself, is this a stupid question? So let's look at this question a little bit. Okay, if you criticize society, you're not allowed to use things from society because otherwise you're a hypocrite. Okay, so anything you criticize, that means you can't use it anymore. Okay, let's look at our daily lives. Say you're driving in a car down the road, and suddenly smoke starts billowing out from under the hood. Your car starts doing this. Are you supposed to just sit there and think, everything's fine. Everything's great. Everything's fine. Let's keep driving. Because if you dare say anything negative about that car, like, boy, I think this car has a problem. No, you can't use it anymore. You get out of the car right now. You go home. You walk home. You can't use the car anymore. Oh my gosh, heaven forbid you say, there's something wrong with this car. I'm going to pull over to the side of the road and see if I can figure out what the problem is. Oh, that would be stupid, right? Now, like you could take 1,000 different situations where there's something wrong with something, and you say, there's something wrong with that, and then you try to figure out what maybe you can do better, or maybe you can somehow improve it, and that's how people's lives get better. That's how the world improves. That's how everything happens. That's how anything good happens. Someone is like critical of something and says, "Ooh, there's a problem here. Maybe there's something that could be better." And then people try to figure out what could be better, and they make things better. So apparently, to a lot of people who are just, I don't know what their brains are doing when they're saying this. Well, I think their brains are just turned off, and it's just like, they've just got a recording that's just playing. If you criticize society, then you can't use things from society, or you're a hypocrite. Oh, what about all those things you buy, Jaimie, from those companies that you complain about? Oh, what? So if I if I have a problem with the way food is grown when it's in factory farms, which is horrible, it's horrifying, does that mean if that's the only food available at the time, I have to starve to death? No, that's stupid and idiotic. Oh, but does it mean that I should sit there and just happily say, ooh, factory farming is great. I love the way they treat the animals while I'm eating this. No, that's not good. You can complain about something that you're using. And you can do that and then try to think about ways to do things better, to improve it. And maybe you say this to other people even and get them thinking about, this really could be better. Maybe we should start looking for alternatives. And the thing is, a lot of times when you want to improve something, you can't just snap your fingers and have it improve. You have to lean on it for a long time sometimes it takes a lot of people to make a big change, You got to keep putting pressure on it. You got to keep complaining. If you see a problem, you say it. Don't let these people shut you up. All right. I think that's about all I'm going to say about that. Oh, right now I'm cooking bread, and it's been about 5 minutes since I checked it. So give me 10 seconds. I'm going to check my bread. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm checking my bread. Oh, it's looking good. Yeah, probably 5 more minutes, and I can take it off. All right, I got my lights set up here. I've got a really super high-tech lighting system today. You could probably tell because you can see me now. It's just a piece of styrofoam stuck up there over a board with a flashlight aimed at it. Anyway, what's going on with you guys today? Let's see what's going on. TDH, how's it going, man? Trey, hi, Jaimie, what's up? Joseph Blowmeister, how's it going, man? Mr. Landfill, how is everyone? Everyone? That's a lot of people. It's over 8 billion humans on the planet now, isn't it? And Mr. Landfill, if you have something to say here, don't let those complainers shut you down. You say whatever you want. I know last week someone was complaining about things you were saying, but you say whatever you want. Well, not whatever, but pretty much, unless you're calling someone an a-hole who doesn't deserve it. Anyway, okay. Wait, what is this? I got to turn up my brightness a little bit to read this name. Oh, Tatria Delta. Don't let people get you spiteful, man. There are a million kinds of people. You just hear from the ones obnoxious enough to waste time writing it out. Well, that's not true. I hear from a lot of people. Letting it bother you just invites that negativity and annoys you. That doesn't make sense. No. If there are stupid people saying stupid things, totally let it bother you. Complain, push back against them. You got trolls around, push back against them. Hey, what you're saying is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't, what do you mean don't let it bother you? What does that mean? Does that mean I shouldn't go in my bed tonight crying myself to sleep? Because obviously I'm not going to do that. But if people are saying stupid things and acting like morons, I'm going to notice and be like, well, that sucks. Why don't you fix that? See, this is the thing. When everything isn't black and white. It's not like one reaction or the other. Don't let it bother you at all. You got to keep your peace. Or if it bothers you, downward spiral into darkness. No, how about you just be a sensible, reasonable person, and you can let things bother you without it tearing you down into this little pieces. You can let things bother you because then that can motivate you to do something about it, right? Why aren't we doing that? Why is this always no, you have to do one of two choices. You have to completely ignore it and just push it out push it away because they're so sensitive. Or if you let it affect you, it'll just crying. No, you can be a reasonable, sensible person. You can see things and hear things that bother you, and you can let them bother you, and you can let that motivate you to say, hey, that's no good right there. That's no good right there and there and there. We should fix that stuff. Because if you don't do that, nothing gets fixed. We need way more people getting bothered and doing something. Because we have way too many people either just just not being bothered at all. I can't bother with that. Or just being bothered into just like total crushing defeat. No, we need people getting bothered and pushing back. And that doesn't mean you have to devote your life to it. If someone says something that bothers me, I can spend a little bit of time here and there. And, you know, if it happens to come up, I'll push back a little. But it doesn't mean it has to like destroy me or something. Vasco Zuzus, how's it going, man? I always love that name, Vasco Zuzus. Where'd that come from? I think you might have told me once. I don't remember now. Trey says, feels like people like to reach to bring others down. That is true. I mean, there are different situations where people like to bring other people down. And one of the situations is anytime you're doing anything that they kind of wish they could do, but don't do it because it's too hard. No one can do that. Nobody can do that. I was talking with a girl earlier this week who has some job she hates, and she has all these business ideas. And she said it like, well, actually, no, she just told me she had the job she hates. And I asked her, well, if you could do any job, what would it be? Well, I have a bunch of business ideas. And I'm like, well, why don't you do one of those? And she said, oh, no, it's impossible to start a business. You know what you have to do for that? Oh, it's impossible. And I'm like, well, I've started lots of businesses. It's not that hard. Just start doing what you're doing. What do you want to do? And she just had it made up in her mind that it was impossible. And when people do that, if they see someone else doing it, that kind of crushes their idea that something is impossible. And a lot of people can't handle that. And they kind of get crazy and they're like, oh, I know I'm angry about the world and you're wrong and I hate you. And it doesn't fit into my BS narrative that I've made up in my head that it's impossible. So if you're one of those people who does anything out of the ordinary or you know, maybe a little unorthodox or unusual, like you don't follow the path everyone else is doing, a lot of people are going to get upset about that because they really want to do that path, but they're just too afraid to do it. And they make up excuses that you are totally crushing. You're totally crushing all of their excuses. And a lot of people can't handle that. And the funny thing is, like, a lot of people can't handle that. Like people who might otherwise be your friends or family, like a lot of people get really upset about that kind of stuff. Although sometimes you can bring them around, which is nice. All right, Tatria Delta. We know all this stuff. It's why we wish we lived on some tropical island somewhere. LOL. Well, you know, I mean, not everyone wants to live on a tropical island, but yeah, you should try to figure out a way to do whatever you think is the right thing to do in life. You know, nothing like the smell of fresh cooked bread. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, I have, what is it? Oh, coconut sourdough bread. My favorite bread. I make it like almost every day because I get coconuts like off a tree. And just eating a bunch of coconut, it's not that great. You know, a few little pieces, but after a little bit, it's like, okay, I've had enough coconut. But if I make coconut into a sourdough bread, I can eat like a whole coconut worth. You know, put some peanut butter on the bread and some burgers or something, whatever. Anyway, what's wrong with being a hypocrite? I don't know, nothing. Maybe. Oh, Tatria Delta says, internet warrior stuff. Don't let it get to you. That's all. Oh, okay. No, I think you should let it get to you. Let it get to you, and then think about it, and then think about what can be done to improve it. But I mean, there's definitely something. I get what you're saying. Okay, wisdom in those words. I treat people the way I want to be treated. If I am being an ass, wait. If I am being an ass, put your foot in it. Okay, good job, Jeff. You know, the funny thing is, you can't. Well, treating other people the way you want to be treated doesn't always work, unless. Well, it depends how you're looking at it. If you're looking at it as treating someone the way they need to be treated, then you also want to be treated the way you need to be treated. Then yeah, it pretty much always works. But in terms of specific things, like often you need to treat people differently than you treat yourself. But anyway, that's all beside the point, maybe. Trey says it's easier to it's easier to, are you trying to say empathize? It's easier to empathize than care and try to change something for the better. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, the thing is when you're in a society where there are a lot of people doing bad things, and I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything, but like we're in a society where a lot of people are doing bad things and a lot of people are getting away with it. And you know, a couple weeks ago, I made a video about how we need fewer rules. We need more like just moral behavior and fewer rules. And there's a big point that I didn't mention there, which is that in our society today, and this often happens, the rules don't apply to the people who really need them. So you take something like, oh, this is going to be a touchy one, but this is what I'm just going to do it anyway. So you take something like gun control, for example. You make it harder to get guns. So you have to go through all these papers and do all this stuff. Totally reasonable, right? Except the criminals aren't getting their guns that way. It's not affecting the people who aren't following the law anyway. So one of the big problems with making all these laws is that the laws need to apply to the people who aren't following the laws anyway. So there's no point there's so many laws and regulations that don't apply to anyone who needs it. And it just makes like good people's lives more difficult. Here's another example. This one's maybe a little less touchy. I don't know, maybe it's more touchy though. So big box stores, you know, kind of come in and have a monopoly over all the stuff because they're huge and they squish out the little guys, right? So we got to regulate them. We got to regulate all the stores. So you make it so all the stores have to do some kind of paperwork and get some lawyers and stuff. But the giant box store can do that easily because they're a huge chain. They've got lawyers. They got huge amounts of money. They can do that easily. But like some little store on the corner who has to pay the same amount of money to some lawyer and pay the same amount in regulation fees and stuff, they're getting killed by the regulations. So all these regulations that are supposed to like, you know, kind of keep the big box stores under control, they just wipe out the little stores. So it ends up doing the opposite because anyway. All right, let's see what's going on here. Mr. Yana Roby, I love that name too. I had to run the wood gas in Maine today. It is cooling off here. Looks warm there. It is warm here. Yes, it is definitely warm here. I have a little bit of sweat, just a little bit though. I'm pretty comfortable though. I had to run the wood gas or the wood stove in Maine today. Why did I say wood gas? Wood stove. Tomaters, how's it going? All right, I better check my bread again. Hold on. I think it's got to be done by now. Oh, I'm just gonna grab it again. All right. If you're wondering, I just cook my bread in a pan on a fire. Well, on a like a little rocket stove thing, and I flip it over, kind of like a pancake, but you know, slower cooking. And let's see. Oh, comes out pretty good. Ouch. Oh, good looking stuff, eh? All right, I gotta put that down before it burns my hands. Tatria Delta says, you can try and silence the trolls of the internet, but good luck. Hey, don't just presume that the trolls of the internet are invincible. I've had several people over the years say, hey, you know, Jaimie, I used to troll the crap out of you, but one day you said something and you actually responded directly to me and it got to me, and I decided to not be a troll anymore. That's actually happened several times. So fine, you know, maybe there's 10,000 trolls I deal with, and maybe like 6 of them change their ways because of something I said. Well, that's six fewer people being horrible trolls, right? So fine. Anyway, at some point, you can't argue with them all. Obviously, you can't argue with them all. That's just pointless. Sure, real things should bother you, but not internet junk. It's a waste of time. Yeah. I mean, just what I said before, like push back against that crap. Don't just let these trolls and horrible people, run everything. Man, we gotta push back against that sometimes. And it might seem like it's really hard to push back against that kind of stuff because like almost nobody is doing it, but we still gotta try, At least that's what I think. But yes, I'm not going to cry myself to sleep over what some troll said, obviously, because that would be a waste of time for sure. Trey says you were correct. I don't know what I was talking about. Vasco Zuzus says, I made my name because it seemed fun to say. You did a good job, Vasco. Vasco Zuzus. Dallas Wade says, I keep going back to your video from last week. Thank you so much for the advice, brother. It means a lot. Yes. Dallas, I hope, a week ago you were having some difficulties. I hope, I know it's only been a week, but I hope things are looking up, as much as they can a week after you find out some bad news. Dallas Wade had bad news last week. Difficult relationship situations, but it's not my news to talk about. Touchy Delta says the basic idea is to not let criticism waste more time than construction. Well, yeah, I mean, I can construct and think about how to deal with problems. Anyway, Classic Dude Mike says, I hate that animals die for meat, yet I eat pepperoni pizza. I'm a hypocrite. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, totally. Being alive is it's like a hypocritical thing almost. Because like for anything to be alive, something else has to die. Even if you're vegan, something is dying for you to be alive, I made a whole spiel about that a little while ago. Hypocrite with a full belly. I meant people choose to be apathetic. People do choose to be apathetic. People should be less apathetic. But people are so scared of everything. I don't know. Tim Baird says, big business writes these laws. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if they, and they don't necessarily have to directly write the law. They can just, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Here's a campaign donation. Hook us up, baby. Although, like a lot of these big businesses, like Monsanto, and I haven't looked into this in a while, so don't quote me on any of this. But last I heard, they had a whole bunch of people high up in Monsanto going back and forth between the government and the company. They're just like, doing exactly what you're saying, just writing the rules for themselves. Jeff says, working on being a passport bro. Oh, yeah. As finding a woman in the States is getting super hard. Yeah, man. So, I don't know, what was it, like a year ago? I said I wanted to, start putting a little bit of effort into trying to find a girlfriend. And I've spoken with many women, not like hundreds or anything, but, yeah, it is hard, like to find a woman who is single, who's like not horrible, because it seems like all the not horrible ones are in relationships, which makes sense. Because I mean, if I found a woman and she was amazing, I would be like, let's stick together, yes, as much as we can, and then I would have to be good enough for that, obviously. But yeah, man. I totally hear what you're saying, dude. You going to Thailand or Philippines or something? Totally makes sense. Dallas Wade says, I'm not crying anymore, so I guess it's getting better. Yes! Still sucks, though. Yeah. Yeah, totally, man. I gotta admit, I'm having some difficulties, too. I mean, you guys know I've been having difficulties for a while. And it's just the kind of thing, I have kids, they have a mother, and she is not, things are not going well with her. Let's just say that. And, things that we've kind of worked things out to be the best it can be-ish, but it's still not good, Frustrating, really frustrating. Still sucks though, yeah. Vegetable screams. You're talking about those vegans killing the vegetables. Well, even besides killing vegetables, like planting acres of soy is taking up land that other things would have lived in. Like all just factory farming of any kind wipes out animals, whether it's directly killing them or wiping out their habitat or whatever. Jeff, you're thinking of Belize or Panama to be a passport bro. So you think you can find a good girlfriend in Belize or Panama? Really? Well, I'm in Panama. Are you telling me there's like some sort of amazing women that I'm just not noticing? I mean, I haven't been getting out much, I admit. Actually, I haven't. I haven't left like a 5 square mile area in the last month. Probably like 3 square mile, not square mile, 3 mile radius. I haven't been more than 3 miles away from my home in over a month. Well, maybe about a month. Anyway, I think I'm at the end of comments. Maybe that means I should go eat this bread. Well, not all of it, but some of it. Send me a message, Jeff. Tell me what's going on with your thinking. What's going on in Belize and Panama that I need to know about? Caribbean Cupid has women from Panama. Caribbean Cupid. Oh, I see. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Although, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, well, I guess I'm gonna go eat dinner with my bread right there. Right there. Yeah. And be safe, everyone. Mr. Landfill says, yes, Mr. Landfill, be safe, everyone. And I hope everyone is having a good evening or morning or night. Or in Dallas, Wade, man, just keep going. When you're in a deep hole, you just gotta. Well, Winston Churchill said something about that, right? When you're going through hell, keep going. Yeah, just keep going. You're gonna get somewhere better. Actually, the best thing about being in a really bad place is pretty much anywhere, any direction you go is gonna be better, right? So yeah, just keep plugging away, keep doing your best. And even if you have a string of bad luck, and I could tell you about a lot of bad luck I've had in the last year, but you keep pushing for something better, and things start getting out of the way, and you start climbing out, and things start getting better. And I could just look through my life, and there've been little chunks of time where it'll be like 6 months of bad luck here, 3 months of bad luck there, but then there'd be 3 months of good luck a little after that, and it'd be like, hey man, cool. So yeah, you just got to keep pushing through the bad luck times, and when those good luck times come, you enjoy the crap out of them and take advantage. Do everything you can with that. All right, I'm gonna go eat. Happy eats. Best of luck to you, Sir Jaimie. Whoa, I've just been knighted. Well, thank you, sir. Maybe if we only ate animals that could kill and eat me, it would be easier. Well, you know what we could do about the population problem? We could make it so people have to kill animals with their bare hands. You gotta kill that animal with your bare hands to eat it. And then a lot of people get wiped out. Of course, some people say there's no population issue, and some people do. So I'm not going to get into all that. Anyway, just making stupid jokes. I'm getting out of here. Catch you later, Rivnet. All right, everyone have a good whatever you have. I'm going to stop streaming. I can do that with one button, right? I don't have to